Greetings and salutations, space travellers. This is Jason Silverain, and today I'll be taking a look at the update to the Way team's character creation with the release of the Lost Exodus update. Now, if you've seen my previous tutorial for character creation within the Way team, let me say that this method still works, but there have been minor changes, thankfully for the better, which will have to be addressed. But to begin, I'll be focusing on the brand new character editor that has been introduced. To access the character editor, we begin by selecting the characters button on the main options screen. This takes us to our crew candidates, with the first 10 slots being occupied by our default crew members. These 10 cannot be changed or deleted by the editor, so rest assured anyone who's a little worried about messing up the game, you'll always have these crew members available. Also, if you like any of these 10 in particular, but would like to tweak one of their traits or boost a stat, there is the copy action, which allows you to make and save an edited copy of one of the characters, which you can then later select. As you can see, I've already made 2 new characters. That's mostly so to explain these 2 additional symbols. This first one here, the pencil, simply represents a character you have created. This one here is a character that you have uploaded to the Steam Workshop. And with that, to make a new character, it is simple as selecting the new button. Now from here we can create our new crew applicant by entering a name, selecting the pronouns for the character, an appearance and race, our attributes, our profession and personality traits, and finally inputting a biography. All of these can be randomized with the dice button if you simply want to make a character quickly or simply curious about what the generator will give you. The exception is the biography, which does have to be input directly and has a character count of about 270 to 280, so you can fit a reasonable amount in there. Now the other icons we discuss is the folder icon and the refresh icon. The folder option will open the sprite folder for the game, allowing you to add your own sprites to the game, and the refresh button will essentially refresh the game's memory of what sprites are currently available, allowing you to access them right away. Now, if you do intend to add your own sprites to the game, I do recommend, to begin with, taking one of the existing sprites, copying it, renaming it of course, and using it as a template to either resize a sprite you wish to use, or to start with just recolor and draw over it, customize your own character. And that's how I've actually made some of my own sprites for the game, such as this chap here. He's a little taller than everyone else, but I thought that would make him stand out. Another character I made was this chap here, using an existing body, and I made the head from scratch. Now to go over each of these in a little bit more detail. Name is obviously the name of your character. However, what's not so obvious is the identifying colour for your character is actually affected by each letter in the name. So as you can see as I delete it, every letter changes the colour, even the spaces. So I wanted to make a character I made in my last tutorial, what's remake him. I was going to have Christopher Green. However, there's not quite enough space for Christopher on the top line, so we're just going to go with Chris Green. So this comes up as a white or very pale brown on my monitor. Now, for pronouns, we have a simple drop-down list. I'm going to select he, him, his for Chris. Next, moving on to appearance. This actually does have a significant effect on the game now, because this also affects what race you are. Now, there's 4 races in the game, but to avoid spoilers, I'm going to focus on the main 2, which are Cygen and Human. Cygen are basically cyborgs, and the characters already in the game, these will always have at least a 10 in one of their attributes. Usually they'll have a 10 in one and quite low stats in the 2 others. For this creator, since you can actually choose the stats you want, it doesn't have so much of an effect, other than the fact that for your traits down here, you will have 2 negative traits instead of 2 positive traits, like a human has. And that's really the main difference. Except for attributes, humans tend to have a total of about 18. All the default characters in the game have 18, where the side gens again have slightly more. But for Christopher, we're going to make him a human. I think I'm going to use one of the sprites I created myself. Here we go. And now his attributes. When I first created Christopher Green, I actually intended him to be like a law enforcement officer. So I'm going to give him 7 mental, 7 physical, and unfortunately that only leaves me enough for 3 social, giving me a total of 17, which puts him on par with most of the other crew members. And for traits, we're going to go for soldier for his profession, because it's the nearest thing we've got to a law enforcement officer. Then we're going to have confident, so I think that's important. And ever so hard to pronounce, abstemious, which essentially means quite well controlled. They don't eat a lot. They abstain from things. So a crew member with that will actually eat less, I believe. And finally, kleptomaniac, because I do have a biography I prepared earlier, which lovingly I can just copy and paste straight in. There we go. There's a habit of pocketing items as evidence. Now, oh, I seem to have missed a space there, so again, it's easier as just going into my text document, copy this little button here to delete, and paste, and everything's done. I've finished making this character. If I want to, I can now upload him to the Steam Workshop. This little drop-down menu here will actually choose how I want the Steam Workshop mod to appear. So private for my own use, friends only if I only want to pass him around my friends, and public if I want you all to have him. Eventually he will be public, but for now I'm going to save, and that's how you create a character in the Away Team. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all enjoy the Away Team.